Yeah, so I get compliments from friends when they see me in person. I also get compliments in the office. I do go into the office once a week. So when people see me, they're like, every time I see you, you look different. Every time I see you, you lost weight. You look younger.
What's up, guys? Today I've got a very special guest with me, one of my current clients, Juan. Juan, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's a
I
great
love
day.
I love it. So, obviously, again, I'm making this video. I want to explain Juan's transformation, deep dive into his obviously specific fitness journey working with me inside Legacy Fitness Coaching. We've been working together since October 21st. So, we just hit 7 months working together. So, 7 months together, and what he's done is it's been incredible, right? He has lost 65 pounds of excess fat, right? Which is crazy. He's been consistently almost losing 10 pounds per month for 7 months straight consistently. So that's crazy. But in addition to that, I believe he has gained around 10 pounds of lean muscle mass. And of course, insane amounts of strength, right? We've actually hit two in-person sessions together. Me and Juan live in the same state. And so we've hit two in-person sessions together, and he's using the same way I am on most exercises. And so obviously he has gained crazy amounts of strength in addition to losing so much excess fat and weight. And so what you've done is incredible, Juan. So why don't you just first off introduce yourself a little bit? I know I did a little bit there already, but yeah, just a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So my name's Juan. I am currently in Salt Lake City. I'm turning 37 this year and I work in the finance industry. So I've been working in the finance industry, I'm gonna say about 15 plus years. Prior to the finance industry, I was actually working in the wine industry.
Yeah, that's incredible. And tell them how old you are.
I'm 36. I'll be turning 37 in September.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. And tell us a little bit about just your past experience working with yourself before working with me, right? Some of the things you tried, some of the things that work, but also didn't work out.
Yeah. So prior to working with you, I was super heavy in cardio. I was doing cardio just about daily, but I wasn't doing any weight strength training,
Right.
none of that, right? Even prior to that, I've never really had a workout routine. I never saw the need for it when I was younger, right? As I got older, things started to change and COVID hit, going to work from home and just spending a lot more time being idle, not really moving. I gained a lot of weight. And then all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I need to change this. I need to reverse this. So I started doing cardio. I did cardio for 6 months straight before I started hitting a plateau, right? I'm like, oh, I can only do so much cardio, but I wasn't really seeing any more progress with just cardio. And that's when I reached out. That's when I reached out to you.
Yeah, yeah. And how did you sort of find out about me, right? Because I mean, I've said this millions of times. There's so many different other content creators and fitness coaches on Instagram. How did you find me specifically and potentially, want to work with me?
Yeah, so I've never worked with a coach before or a trainer. I started doing some research online. I started with Instagram, and I think that's where I found your page, and I found a bunch of other folks that were doing the same thing, right? But what drew me to you was your approach to things, your videos. I didn't see you pushing any certain products or anything on your page, right? You weren't promoting anything other than you and your journey and
Yeah.
working out. And I think that's what narrowed it down was that I didn't get a sense like, oh, I'm gonna get pushed into
Mhm.
all these other supplements or all these other things or the other brands. So that's one of the main reasons why I went with you.
Yeah, I love that. That's powerful. You knew exactly what you wanted and you found me. And obviously, I mean, it's been great working with you. We've made insane progress together. And like I said, and like I told you guys, we've been working for 7 months. And at the start, October 21st, you logged in 275 pounds, I believe.
That's correct.
And then right after that, we made progress instantly. I remember within the first week, you lost 10 pounds, which at first I was like, holy shit. But at the same time, I think you were just a little bit bloated and we were still figuring things out. The day before, I know you went in and logged your past weights in terms of your body weight, right? Before we worked together,
That's
you
correct.
to see where you were at. So you went ahead and logged those. And I saw that before you were at 270, right? So it just looks like, when the first day we started working together, you just jumped up to 275 and then we got down to 265 within a week. And so 5 to 10 pounds of weight loss in the first week. And so that was just instant progress, right? And so let's actually show you guys real quick. So like I explained, right, Juan logged in 275 on the 21st of October, our first day working together, and right off the bat started seeing progress instantly, right? So now my question to you is, how did it feel to instantly make progress, right? You've been searching for a coach, someone to help you start this weight loss journey. How did it feel to instantly get these results?
It felt great because I was able to track this, right? It wasn't like a guessing game. I was able to see it. I can see it on the scale. I can see it on the app. And I continuously saw progress as the days went on. Like this, like you said, it just happened. It started happening right away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was working right off the bat, like I said, right? And I think what you said was just super powerful, you know? It wasn't a guessing game anymore. You didn't have to guess what you were going to do for your workouts anymore. You didn't have to guess, should I eat this or should I avoid this or anything like that, right? I gave you it, you tracked it, and it instantly worked, right? And I'm going to say this, with every client, it's not this fast, right? But with you, you really just locked right in. You understood it very well, implemented the things that I said instantly, and obviously it works, right? So that was amazing right off the bat. And so first off with Juan, I mean, obviously we started with nutrition, right? That's the most important part is nutrition, making sure you have a diet and something that you're sticking to, some structure, right? So we had nutrition locked in very first, and then I built out your 4 day split, right? We did upper day one, lower day one, upper day two, lower day two with a rest day in between, right? I remember
Right.
building
Yeah.
this out. And what I'm building up to is with this 4 day split, you didn't want to go to a commercial gym, right? You wanted to work out at your apartment gym, right? And I said, okay, that's totally fine, right? Send me a video or some pictures of what you have in your apartment gym, and I'll get to work. I'll create that program custom to you and what equipment you have access to. And so, just tell me a little bit about why you didn't want to quite get a commercial gym membership, why you wanted to stay in the apartment gym.
Yeah, so I wanted to stay in the apartment gym because I work from home 90% of the time. And this would allow me to go to the gym here in my apartment complex during my lunch hour. The other reason why I didn't want to go to the commercial gym is I just don't like crowds. I mean, not that I don't mind crowd. I just don't want to have a lot of people there present when I'm working out, right? I don't know if I'm just self-conscious. I just didn't want to be around a lot of people when I started working out for the first time, right? Because like I mentioned, I did not lift weights. Lifting weights to me was foreign. Other than what was required back in high school when we had PE, I never really kept up with weights. So I would not have known where to start or what to do. So those were the two main reasons, right? Was the people at the gym and then the convenience of being able to go during my lunch hour to or
Yeah.
hour and a half to do my workout.
Yeah, I think that convenience part was the biggest for you. Obviously, with not trying to be within, the crowd, you wanted that sort of private gym and environment like that. And so I think those are the main contributors to why you wanted to just stay in this, apartment gym is it was very efficient, right? Like you just said,
Yep.
working from home, there's no need to drive 10, 15 plus minutes to a gym that you can just get a good workout in the apartment gym, right? And so
No, and I appreciate you working with me because I know the apartment gym is not as fully equipped as a traditional gym, right? Like it's going to be limited, but you made it work. You made it work. You created a routine
yeah.
with the equipment and whatever machines I had at my gym, which also worked out.
Yeah, which brings up the fact, right? Anyone watching this, you have no excuse, right? You don't have to have the perfect gym, the perfect workout program even to get a good workout in and to actually make progress, right? You just have to put the intensity in, put the work in and be consistent with it. And obviously, like Juan has done, get the results that you want. So yeah, that was great. Obviously, as you guys can see here, Juan made constant progress. And that is because your consistency and your mentality, right? I gave you these programs, and like I said before, you just clicked, you understood them very fast. And so obviously they worked. What I'm leading up to though is what do you think the main contributor to this success is, right? There's a ton of different contributors, having structure, having me, your mentality. What do you think the main one was?
That's hard because this has been a journey. I think having you has definitely been one of the biggest
Yeah,
biggest things that helped, right?
right.
just the accountability piece, knowing that, hey, who I'm not only going to lie to myself, but I'm also lying to you.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
that was another one is it's just having that accountability piece because we can easily say, oh, I'm going to skip today or oh, this extra slice of pizza is not going to do it. No, it all matters. Like all that accountability piece has been big. Another one I think you touched on is nutrition, right? Like I think I had to throw everything out the door of what I
Mhm.
thought I knew about nutrition and start new
Yeah.
and start eating a lot more protein because that was one thing I did not do before we started working together is I actually struggled with eating protein for the first few weeks and then I got the hang of it. Then it became super easy.
Right. Yeah. Even with tracking everything too, right? I remember it was kind of a little bit, which it should be, a little bit of a hassle to remember to log every single calorie and macro that's going into your body, right? And then especially like the protein, like you just said. But you got the hang of it after about a week or 2 weeks, and then it was just, the ball was just rolling down the hill, right? Very, very quickly. And so, like I said, Juan has lost 65 pounds in 7 months, 275 on October 21st. And today, let's see, clocked in at 211, right? And that was yesterday. And so 64 pounds in 7 months is incredible. And then, like I said, on top of that, gaining strength and gaining muscle all at the same time. Um, I know you mentioned at the beginning you were very cardio based. You lost, I should have showed you guys, you were at 299 pounds. I forgot when, but a while back. Do you remember?
Yeah, so as of April 21st, I was at 321.
Okay, yeah, right. So insane progress on your own up until a point where it kind of got sticky, right? You sort of
Yeah.
plateaued and the cardio that you were doing wasn't working anymore, right? What is your, I'm sort of leading up to this now. What is your view on cardio now, right? Because obviously it was very cardio based at first. We introduced the workouts and having a program, strength training. What's your view on cardio now?
I still enjoy cardio. I still incorporate that into my routines, right? I try to get about 20 to 25 minutes on some sort of cardio machine after my workout, and then I do some walks. But yeah, I still think it's important. It's just now not the main focus, right? It's not my, I would say it's like 20% of my exercise now is cardio and the rest is strength, weights.
Yeah, exactly, right. That was great. That was a great explanation. Like I said, at the first, very hard cardio based. Then we incorporated strength training and the cardio because I knew you still enjoyed it, right? At the end of the day, you can lose weight without doing cardio as long as you're in a calorie deficit, and you know that now.
Yeah.
But my main point is you like the cardio so much. I wasn't gonna say, okay, we don't need it. Like it doesn't matter, right? You liked it, so of course we incorporated it. Um, yeah, and I mean you're a maniac. You're walking so much every day now. You're getting crazy amount of steps, crazy numbers. So yeah, I like honestly that you're doing the cardio still. It's good for heart health too, right? This is not all about muscle gain and getting jacked at the same time. It's about improving your overall health and everything like that, right? Um,
100%. And that's one thing that I think I realized recently was the heart rate, right? The heart rate has drastically improved in the last 5 months.
Right. Yeah, which was crazy. I mean, it's close to mine, which I was saying on our last in-person workout session, right? That it's what you've done is crazy. It was pretty high. I can't remember quite the number, but your resting heart rate was pretty high, and you've brought it down, and that was through cardio while still doing strength training and weight loss and muscle gain. So seriously, crazy, crazy what you've done. And that's all on the workout, exercising, activity side. Let's talk about nutrition now and what things you are doing now, right? I do give you a meal plan and sort of guidelines is like how I like to structure my clients' nutrition programs. But with you, you are creating your own recipes, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, so prior to us, I mean, I've always cooked. That's one thing I've always done is cooking. I think with the guidelines that you set forth, I had to make some minor adjustments, some minor substitutes, but I still am able to cook some of the recipes that I cooked before, just increasing some of that protein, right? Adding more chicken, more cottage cheese, Tuna, just changing a couple things and making those substitutions goes a long way. Like you can still get the same dish, but a healthier version.
Right. And like you
But
said,
yeah, that I think that's been the biggest. Is having those guardrails, knowing, hey, what to shoot for. I would have not known how many grams of protein or carbs or
mhm,
fat I should be eating. I'm Mexican, so I did not measure anything before. It was all like, oh, it tastes good, it looks good. But now I'm like, okay, no, I need to weigh it. I need to weigh it, I need to track it. And it makes a big difference. It does. But I'm still able to enjoy the same dishes as before, just minor tweaks.
yeah, yeah, and that's why I like to structure it that way for every client, right? I don't want to give you a strict, specific meal plan, and then you hate it, right? And then end up not being consistent with it, right? I think guidelines is much better because just like you know, you can throw all these different things in there because it's sort of like a budget. It doesn't have to be the same dollar in this budget. It can be different, right? But at the end of the day, it's still this, 2,400 calories, 180 grams of protein, and very specific in terms of the macros, but not really the contents of the food, right? So I think what you've done is crazy with that nutrition, creating your own recipes and meals. I see it on your story every day. I mean, it looks delicious, right? And so what you're doing is not only helping you, but it's still tasting great, right? Yeah, I
You
think
know, I
that,
used to have friends over for dinner. I still have them over for dinner, and they haven't noticed the difference. They still say, hey, this is still really good. Like they don't know that, hey, it's a healthier version of what we used to eat.
yeah, yeah, that's great. That's great. Another thing I wanted to mention is just all of these lifestyle changes. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's not all about getting abs, getting the big arms, getting the big chest. It's more so about the bigger picture and how health and fitness has changed your lifestyle, right? You're going to work, sorry, you're working out during work, right? Like we just talked about, you're creating these new recipes and your friends are noticing changes with you. And so how has that been to have this lifestyle change through health and fitness?
It's been amazing because, like you said, it's not all physical, right? Mental wise too. I feel I'm more alert. I'm more focused at work. I'm not tired all the time. I'm not stressed. It's just been a complete change, not only physically, but also mentally. Like just having extra energy to be able to complete things without feeling drained.
Mhm.
It's been amazing. It's been great.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I want you to also tell me a little bit about all these compliments you're getting, right? I know sometimes you text me, and you say, I was just with a friend and they told me I look great, they're asking you, what are you doing? How are you doing this so fast? So yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I get compliments from friends when they see me in person. I also get compliments in the office. I do go into the office once a week. So when people see me, they're like, every time I see you, you look different. Every time I see you, you lost weight, you look younger. And I personally don't like comments like that. They make me feel so awkward, but it's nice to know that not they're noticing because I'm also noticing. And I also get compliments online when I do post a picture or a video. It's nice. It's nice to see, hey, not only do I see this on the scale, but other people are also seeing it.
Right, right. And another thing you told me is having to buy new clothes, right? Because obviously, like we talked about this whole video, is that you made progress very, very quickly, obviously healthy and safe way, but quickly nonetheless. And so buying new clothes, I mean, that's got to feel amazing, right? That's just another way of measuring your progress, right? Not just the number on the scale, right? Or measurements physically, but also through clothes and things like that, right?
Yes, and I held off on buying new clothes. I don't know why, but I held off until the point where I'm like, you know what? I kind of need to buy new clothes. This doesn't look good, even though I'm smaller, right? Because the clothes are a little baggy or they were too loose. And buying that new clothes is also what made others notice even more, right? Like the clothes are fitting better. They're not loose. They're not like it was nice to buy the new clothes, right? I held off. I held off as long as I could, but I ended up buying new clothes and it has made a difference also.
Yeah, yeah, and that can be another way to ensure consistency, right? I mean, obviously, 7 months down the line, this is going to be with you for the rest of your life, what you're doing now, right? You're not just going to stop when our work together ends, right? And so my main point is getting new clothes. That's another thing, another reminder to yourself, like, I can't go back, right? What I used to wear and things like that, I do not want to wear those things again. I'm a new person. I'm getting new clothes. I have a new self-identity, and I think that's very powerful, right? So that's another thing I wanted to bring up. Um, I also want to just talk a little bit about alcohol. I know with Matt, he completely cut it out, but with you, I wanted to bring this up because I think people can relate. You like to have fun. I'm going to start it off like that, right? You like to have great times on the weekend, and I love that for you, right? And so my main point is you can still make crazy progress just like Juan has while still having good, weekends, every other weekend. So tell me a little bit about that, how you're sort of balancing it, but still making crazy, crazy progress.
Yeah, no, I do like to have fun. I do like the weekends. I weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, so what I ended up doing is switching out. I'm more conscious of what I drink.
Mhm.
So I cut out all the sugary drinks. I wasn't a big sugary or sweet drink person to begin with, but now I'm like, okay, no, I need to just either stick straight to liquor, which I can do it with like a Coke Zero or a Fresca or something. Like just knowing that anything you add to the liquor is calories and sugars, right? Like for the most part, anything that's in a drink is gonna be that. So I made those substitutions where I'm like, you know what? Let me, yes, because I like to have fun. I still want to go out and have fun. So I
Yeah.
can incorporate that, right? So I watch what I drink, but I also know, hey, this weekend I'm gonna go out, so maybe I need to be extra strict on my diet, right? If I know I'm gonna be drinking calories later, I need to be able to hit my protein goals and everything else without going over on the calories, and I make that work. I know I plan ahead now when
Exactly.
I know I'm gonna go out that weekend. Cutting out beer. Beer used to be one of my go-tos, and now I think I have maybe 2 beers a month, if any. But beer was probably one that I did get
Yeah.
almost rid of, but not completely. But that's what I've been doing is, hey, if I know I'm gonna go out, I need to be extra strict on my diet.
Yeah, yeah. And something that you said there is you prepared for this fun night, for example, right? You know pretty much how much you're going to consume by now, right? You're not going to go crazy. But at the same time, you can still have fun. You can still
Yeah,
enjoy things like this while making crazy progress, just like Juan has mentioned just there. And plan ahead for it is my main point. You can track everything beforehand and then have enough room in the budget to have that fun night. And if it fits, right? It's not going to make
yeah.
that much of a difference. Obviously, if you don't go overboard, right? So I want to apologize. I know that was sort of spontaneous. Thank you so much for
Okay.
explaining that, right? It's just I knew some people would be able to really relate to that part, right? That the alcohol side of things while also trying to lose weight and make progress in the gym. So thank you again for that.
Of course.
Um, so sort of wrapping up here and everything like that. My question now is just how do you feel now? 7 months down the line, I don't think this is going to be the end of our work. I think we're going to continue for a couple more months, right? We still have more
Oh
goals to
yeah.
get to. We want to get under 200, right? Gain some more muscle and strength. But with that, I mean, 7 months has been crazy. How has your life changed in these 7 months rather than before? And just how do you feel now overall?
I feel healthy. I feel energized. I don't know. Like I even feel like it's a mental thing. Like I
Yeah,
feel positive. Like not that I was in a bad mood before, but I mean I was like I think it's just I feel great. Like it carries over, right? It makes a big difference when you feel good into everything else that you do.
yeah,
But yeah, I just in these last 7 months it's been great. I can't think of anything else to say then. It's been amazing. It's
yeah.
been a complete change.
Yeah, no, I mean that sums everything up, right? It's you can't really put it into words. You just can feel it, right?
Yeah.
And feel this health change, this lifestyle change. Um, and so truly, it's been amazing, right? And like I just said, this is not the end for me and Juan's work, right? We still have a couple more months, a couple more goals to achieve. And eventually in the end, my main goal with Juan and every client is to teach as much as possible while making crazy progress, right? 65 pounds for Juan, but that doesn't just sum up our work together, right? He has learned so many different things. And obviously throughout this video, he's explained how his lifestyle has changed, and how he feels now. So it's truly been amazing, Juan. Thank you so much for, hopping on this video and explaining your journey.
No, thank you. There's absolutely no way I would be at where I'm at today if it wasn't for you. Like there's just no way. So thank you.
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate it, Juan. This is not the end. More to
No,
come. Thank you so much, man.
thanks.